Yo, 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 your boy's back with the most shocking revelation in hip hop history. And what I'm about to expose is gonna destroy every lie Drake fans have been telling about commercial success. Drake fans have been lying to y'all about who the real commercial king is. They love claiming Kendrick uses bots for his streaming numbers, but I got mathematical proof that just obliterated their entire argument forever. Kendrick didn't just break records, he shattered every single touring milestone in hip-hop history. And you can't bot real people paying real money. You think streaming numbers tell the whole story? Think again. What happened with Kendrick's GNX tour is the most devastating commercial domination we've ever witnessed, and the numbers are about to make Drake fans question everything they thought they knew about success. We're talking about Kendrick becoming the first rapper in history to gross over $9 million in a single concert. We're talking about him breaking Eminem's all-time record and then destroying his own record multiple times in the same tour. We're talking about $14.81 million in one night, the highest grossing hip-hop concert in history. And here's what makes this breakdown different. Every few minutes, I'm going to drop mathematical evidence that proves Kendrick just became the undisputed commercial giant, while Drake needs co-headliners just to compete. We got the per-show averages that expose who's really efficient. We got the attendance numbers that can't be faked. We got the revenue totals that rewrite hip-hop history. From Minneapolis, where he made $9.12 million in one night, to Seattle, where he grossed $14.81 million and broke every record in existence, to the tour total of $256.4 million from 1.1 million real fans paying premium prices. Drake fans, explain this math to me. If Kendrick uses bots but just made the highest grossing co-headline tour in history, surpassing Beyonce and Jay-Z, what does that say about your streaming arguments? You can't fake 60,000 people paying hundreds of dollars each to see someone perform live. By the end of this breakdown, you'll understand why Kendrick averaging 11.15 million per show, while Drake averages 4 million with co-headliners, proves who the real commercial king is. This is mathematical proof that destroys every bot theory and exposes the truth about commercial supremacy. If you're ready to see record-breaking numbers that can't be argued with, smash that like button right now. We about to use pure mathematics to expose who's really dominating commercially, and Drake fans are not gonna like what the numbers reveal. The math doesn't lie, and neither do I.
Now possessed by a spirit that I can't take. Used to pump the Carter 3, held my rolling chain proud. Irony, keep my old rumbling little wave down with them.
About to show you is going to have Drake fans deleting their Twitter accounts, burning their OVO hoodies, and questioning every life decision that led them to this moment. Let's start with the bot accusation, because this is where Drake fans' logic goes from questionable to absolutely ridiculous. Drake fans love saying Kendrick uses bots for streaming. Oh, Kendrick's numbers are inflated. It's all fake. Universal Music Group is manipulating everything. Spotify's in on it. It's a conspiracy. They sound like they're about to tell you the moon landing was fake and that birds are government drones. The delusion is real. But here's the problem with that logic, and this is where their entire argument collapses like a Jenga tower in an earthquake. You can't bot tour sales. You can't fake 1.1 million people showing up to stadiums and arenas. You can't manipulate physical attendance. You can't artificially inflate real human beings paying hundreds of dollars to see a show. So if Kendrick uses bots but just broke every touring record in hip-hop history, how many bots is Drake using? The logic is broken. The math doesn't add up. The argument is Swiss cheese. That's like saying LeBron only wins because the scoreboard is rigged, but you sitting in the nosebleeds watching him drop 50 points in real life. Like, my guy, you're watching it happen. You can't fake that. You can't fake the highest grossing hip-hop concerts ever. Real people, real money, real record-breaking attendance. These are physical facts. Drake fans' logic is like a flat earther trying to explain a globe. It's like someone saying, water isn't wet. It's like arguing that the sky is green. It just don't add up. It's like saying, that restaurant is empty while there's a line around the block. It's like claiming nobody likes pizza while you're at a sold-out pizza festival. The evidence contradicts your claim. And the comedy of it all? Drake fans are out here with calculators, spreadsheets, and conspiracy theories trying to explain away Kendrick's success, while Kendrick is literally breaking records that can't be faked. They're like, Well, if you adjust for inflation, account for leap years, factor in the moon's gravitational pull, and subtract the number of times Drake changed his outfit on stage, Drake is still winning. Nah, fam, the math is simple. More people showed up, more money was made, more records were broken. That's it. There's no conspiracy, there's no bots, there's just Kendrick being better. Now let's hit you with the record-breaking numbers that just destroyed hip-hop touring history. Because once you see these numbers, you'll understand why Drake fans are in denial. Kendrick's GNX tour didn't just make money, it rewrote the record books. It took the old records, crumpled them up, threw them in the trash, and set the trash can on fire. Let's go city by city because every stop was a record-breaking moment. Minneapolis, $9.12 million in one night. That made Kendrick the first rapper to exceed $9 million in a single concert. The first. Nobody had ever done it before. Kendrick walked into Minneapolis and said, "Let me just casually break a record that stood for years." That's like showing up to a track meet and casually breaking the 100-meter dash record while eating a sandwich. The audacity is incredible. Houston, $9.4 million in one night. Kendrick said, "Oh, I broke the record in Minneapolis? Let me break it again in Houston." He's out here breaking records like it's a hobby. That's like beating a video game and then beating it again on hard mode just to flex. Kendrick is speed running hip-hop records. Dallas, $11.82 million. New all-time hip-hop concert gross. Kendrick looked at his previous records and said, "That's cute, but let me show you what I can really do." $11.82 million in one night. That's more money than most people make in their entire lives. Kendrick made that in a few hours. That's like going to the casino, putting $1 in the slot machine, and winning a yacht. The scale is absurd. But wait, we're not done, because Kendrick saved the best for last. Seattle, $14.81 million from 60,941 tickets, the highest grossing hip-hop concert ever. Not just for Kendrick, not just for this year, ever, in the history of hip-hop. Kendrick walked into Seattle and said, "Let me just casually set a record that will probably stand for the next decade." $14.81 million. That's almost $15 million in one night, from one show. That's like finding a penny on the ground and it turning into a Lamborghini. The numbers are insane. 60,941 tickets. That's almost 61,000 people. That's a small city. That's more people than live in some towns. Kendrick had a whole city worth of people show up to watch him perform. Kendrick had a whole city worth of people show up to watch him perform. And Drake fans are talking about bots? Tour total, $256.4 million from 1.1 million tickets in just 23 shows. Let me repeat that because it's important. 23 shows, not 80 shows like Drake, not 100 shows, 23 shows, and Kendrick made $256.4 million. That's $250 million. That's buy a private island money. That's start your own country money. That's make it rain for a year money. 1.1 million tickets, over 1 million people. That's more than the population of San Francisco. That's more than the population of Austin, Texas. That's 1 million real people. Bruh, that's not just breaking records, that's shattering them, taping them back together, and breaking them again. That's taking the record book and using it as kindling. And Drake fans are still talking about bots? They're like, well, those 1 million people were probably robots. My guy, have you seen a robot? They can't even navigate stairs properly. You think they're buying concert tickets? Here's where the math gets devastating for Drake fans, because once we break down the per show numbers, their entire argument evaporates like water in the desert. Kendrick's GNX tour made $256.4 million in just 23 shows. That's $11.15 million per show. Let me say that again for the people in the back. $11.15 million per show. Kendrick is making more per show than most rappers make in an entire tour. He's making more in one night than some artists make in their whole career. Drake's entire It's All a Blur tour averaged $4 million per show with co-headliners. $4 million with co-headliners. Drake needed 21, J. Cole, Lil Wayne, Travis Scott, and probably the Avengers to make $4 million per show. Kendrick is making almost 3 times more per show. That's not just winning, that's dominating. That's not just better, that's a different stratosphere. That's like showing up to a cookout with a plate of ribs and Drake bringing a Lunchable. That's like showing up to a car show with a Ferrari and Drake pulling up on a bicycle. The comparison is embarrassing. The gap is massive. The difference is undeniable. Kendrick's efficiency is off the charts. Multiple shows exceeding $9 million, $11 million, $14 million. He's not just breaking records, he's setting new standards. Drake out here needing co-headliners just to keep up, while Kendrick breaking records solo. Drake is bringing the whole squad and still can't match Kendrick's numbers. That's like needing a team to beat someone in a one-on-one basketball game. That's like needing help to win a spelling bee. The dependency is real. And let's not forget, Kendrick surpassed Eminem's previous $8.7 million record. Eminem, one of the biggest rappers of all time. Kendrick looked at M's record and said, "That's cute, but watch this." That's like breaking the sound barrier and then moonwalking past it. That's like beating Usain Bolt in a race and then doing a victory lap. The flex is incredible. Eminem held that record for years, and Kendrick didn't just break it, he obliterated it. He beat it by over $6 million. That's not just winning, that's lapping the competition. That's not just better, that's a different dimension. And Drake fans are still out here talking about bots. They're like, well, if you account for the weather conditions and the price of tea in China, Drake is still winning. Nah, fam, the math is clear. Kendrick makes $11.15 million per show. Drake makes $4 million per show. That's almost a 3-to-1 ratio. There's no spinning that. There's no explaining that away. That's like losing a race by 3 laps and claiming you won because you had better shoes. The delusion is astronomical. This is commercial supremacy at its purest form. Kendrick just became the highest grossing co-headline tour in history, surpassing Beyonce and Jay-Z. Let me repeat that because it's historic. Kendrick surpassed Beyonce and Jay-Z. Beyonce, the woman who has been dominating the music industry for decades, the woman who sells out stadiums by just existing, the woman who could probably sell out a show by just breathing into a microphone, and Jay-Z, the billionaire, the mogul, the man who's been at the top of the game for 30 years. Kendrick looked at their record and said, "That's impressive, but I can do better." And he did. He pushed hip-hop into the same tier as pop juggernauts. He showed that hip-hop can compete with anybody. He proved that rap is not just a genre, it's a force. This is pure commercial dominance. This is what happens when talent meets demand. This is what happens when real fans support real artists. Historical achievement, highest grossing co-headline tour ever. Not just in hip-hop, not just this year. Ever in the history of music. That's like winning the Super Bowl, the World Series, and the NBA Finals in the same year. Accomplishment is unprecedented. Genre elevation, hip-hop reaching pop superstar levels. Kendrick showed that rap doesn't have to take a backseat to anybody. Hip-hop is not just equal to pop, it's surpassing it. That's like the underdog becoming the champion. That's like the student becoming the master. The evolution is complete. Consistent excellence. Multiple record-breaking shows, not just one. Kendrick didn't just get lucky once. He broke records in Minneapolis, Houston, Dallas, and Seattle. That's 4 record-breaking shows. That's not a fluke. That's not an accident. That's systematic dominance. Market validation. 1.1 million people paying premium prices. These weren't cheap tickets. These weren't discounted seats. People paid hundreds of dollars to see Kendrick. That's demand. That's value. That's people saying, I will pay to see this artist because he's worth it. Industry recognition. Redefining what's possible in hip-hop touring. Kendrick didn't just break records, he changed the game. He showed what's possible. He raised the bar. Now every artist is looking at Kendrick's numbers and thinking, how do I get to that level? He set a new standard. Kendrick didn't just win, he changed the whole game. He didn't just break records, he rewrote the rule book. He didn't just succeed, he redesigned success. And Drake fans are still talking about bots. They're like, well, those million people were probably paid actors. My guy, do you know how much it would cost to pay 1 million actors? More than the tour made. The logic is broken. The argument is Swiss cheese. The denial is Olympic level. Drake fans, explain this math to me, because I'm genuinely curious how you're going to spin this. If Kendrick uses bots but just broke every touring record in hip-hop history, making $14.81 million in one night, what does that say about Drake's streaming numbers? If Kendrick's success is fake, but he's making 3 times more per show than Drake, what does that say about Drake's real fan base? If Kendrick's numbers are manipulated, but 60,941 real people showed up in Seattle, what does that say about Drake's authenticity? You can't fake 60,941 people paying hundreds of dollars each. You can't bot a sold-out stadium. You can't manipulate physical attendance. Physical validation, real people, real money, real records. These are tangible facts. You can count the people. You can count the money. You can count the tickets. Bot impossibility. Can't fake the highest grossing concerts ever. There's no algorithm that can create 60,941 physical human beings. There's no bot that can pay for tickets. Drake dependency. Needs co-headliners while Kendrick breaks records solo. Drake is out here with a team and still can't match Kendrick's solo numbers. That's like needing training wheels on a bicycle while someone else is doing wheelies on a unicycle. The skill gap is massive. Mathematical evidence, $11 million plus per show versus $4 million per show. The numbers don't lie. The math is simple. Kendrick makes almost 3 times more. There's no spinning that. There's no explaining that away. There's no conspiracy theory that makes that make sense. Historical significance. First rapper to exceed $9 million in single concert. Kendrick didn't just break one record, he broke multiple records. He's the first to do things that nobody thought were possible. That's like being the first person to run a 4-minute mile. That's like being the first person to climb Mount Everest. The achievement is historic. Drake fans' logic is like trying to use Monopoly money at the Gucci store. It just don't work. The cashier is gonna look at you like you're crazy. It's like showing up to a car dealership with crayons trying to buy a Mercedes. It's like trying to pay your rent with Pokemon cards. The currency is indirect. Drake fans are out here with fake money trying to buy real arguments. And the world is saying, nah fam, that don't work here. They're like, well, if you adjust for the number of times Drake blinked during his shows and multiply by the square root of his Instagram followers, he's still winning. My guy, that's not how math works. That's not how reality works. That's not how anything works. The mathematical proof is overwhelming. And I'm about to break it down so clearly that even Drake fans can't deny it. Kendrick just broke every record in hip-hop touring. Not some records, not a few records, every record. He made $256.4 million in 23 shows. That's more than most artists make in their entire career. Kendrick made that in less than 2 months. He became the first rapper to gross over $14 million in one concert. Nobody had ever done that before. Kendrick is literally making history. Drake fans, if this is what botted success looks like, then Drake must be using industrial level bots. He must have a bot factory. He must have Skynet working for him. Because if Kendrick's success is fake, quote unquote, but he's breaking every record, then Drake's success must be even more fake since he can't match these numbers. The numbers don't lie. Numbers are objective. Numbers don't have opinions. Numbers don't have bias. Numbers just are. Record-breaking tour. Highest grossing co-headline tour in history, surpassing Beyonce and Jay-Z. That's not just impressive, that's legendary. Individual records, multiple concerts exceeding all previous hip-hop records, not just one record-breaking show, 4 record-breaking shows. That's consistency. Efficiency dominance, nearly 3 times more revenue per show than Drake. That's not just better, that's a different league. That's not just winning, that's dominating. Historical significance, first rapper to break multiple touring barriers. Kendrick is doing things that were thought to be impossible. He's pushing the boundaries of what hip-hop can achieve. Commercial truth, real fans paying record-breaking amounts. These aren't bots, these aren't fake accounts, these are real people with real money, and the receipts are undeniable. Let me lay them out for you one more time so there's no confusion. Minneapolis, $9.12 million, first rapper to exceed $9 million in a single show, historic. Dallas, $11.82 million, all-time hip-hop concert gross at the time, record-breaking. Seattle, $14.81 million, highest grossing hip-hop concert ever, legendary. Tour total, $256.4 million from 1.1 million tickets in 23 shows, unprecedented. Kendrick, $11.15 million per show average, efficient. Historical comparisons, surpassing Eminem's $8.7 million record, dominant. Efficiency versus Drake, nearly 3 times more per show, crushing. Industry context, matching Beyonce/Jay-Z level success, elite. Highest grossing co-headline tour in history, supreme. Genre elevation to pop superstar tier, transcendent. Physical attendance validation that can't be botted, undeniable. Premium pricing acceptance from real fans, valuable. These are facts, these are receipts, these are numbers that can be verified. You can look up the tour data, you can check the venue reports, you can verify the attendance. This is all public information. Drake fans can't say that's fake because the venues reported these numbers. The ticketing companies confirmed these sales. The media documented these records. Unless Drake fans think the entire music industry is conspiring to make Kendrick look good, these numbers are real. And if they do think that, then they're not just in denial, they're in a full-blown conspiracy theory. They're one step away from wearing tinfoil hats. And the comedy? Bruh, Drake fans out here talking about bots while Kendrick out here selling out stadiums like he's the Rolling Stones. That's like accusing LeBron of cheating because he keeps winning championships. Like, my guy, maybe he's just better? That's like saying Beyonce only sells out arenas because she got robots in the crowd. Like, have you seen a Beyonce concert? Those fans are real and they are passionate. The logic is wild. The mental gymnastics are Olympic level. The denial is astronomical. Drake fans are like, Kendrick's numbers are fake. Meanwhile, Kendrick's fans are like, I paid $300 for these nosebleed seats and I'd do it again. You can't bot a sold-out stadium, my guy. You can't fake 60,941 people screaming. You can't manipulate the energy of a live show. Drake fans are out here with spreadsheets trying to prove Kendrick's success is fake, while Kendrick's fans are out here with ticket stubs proving they were there. It's like someone saying that restaurant is empty while you're standing in line waiting for a table. The evidence contradicts the claim. Drake fans are like flat earthers at this point. They're looking at a globe and saying, nah, that's CGI. They're looking at photos from space and saying, that's Photoshop. They're looking at Kendrick's tour numbers and saying, that's bots, while a million real people are saying, I was there. The cognitive dissonance is real. The denial is strong. The delusion is complete. Let's talk about the cultural impact, because this goes beyond just numbers. Kendrick's tour wasn't just a concert, it was a movement. It was a phenomenon. It was a cultural moment. You had people flying in from other countries just to see him. People were booking flights, hotels, taking time off work. That's dedication. That's not bot behavior. Bots don't book flights. Bots don't take vacation days. Bots don't spend thousands of dollars to travel. You had celebrities in the crowd, athletes on the sidelines, influencers in the VIP section, the whole internet losing its mind. TikTok was flooded with concert clips. Every other video was someone at the GNX tour. People were posting their experiences, their reactions, their emotions. Instagram was nothing but GNX tour highlights. Your entire feed was just Kendrick concert footage. Stories, posts, reels, all Kendrick. Even people who don't listen to rap were talking about it. Your grandma probably heard about Kendrick's tour. Your coworkers who only listen to country music were asking about it. That's how you know it's a moment. That's how you know it's real. That's how you know it's significant. When people who aren't even fans are talking about it, that's cultural penetration. That's mainstream impact. That's undeniable relevance. And the roast? Bruh. Drake fans were out here trying to explain why Kendrick's tour numbers don't count. They were like, well, actually, if you adjust for inflation and count the number of times Drake changed his outfit on stage, he's still the king. Nah, fam, the math don't lie. Kendrick made $11.15 million per show. Drake made $4 million per show. That's it. That's the math. There's no adjusting for inflation. There's no accounting for outfit changes. There's no asterisk. Kendrick made more money. Kendrick sold more tickets per show. Kendrick broke more records. Period. Drake fans are out here doing calculus trying to make Drake look better, while Kendrick fans are just pointing at the scoreboard. It's like losing a basketball game 150-50 and saying, well, if you don't count the second half, we were winning. Nah, my guy, you lost. Accept it and move on. Drake fans are like, well, Drake had more total shows. Yeah, because he needed more shows to make less money per show. That's not a flex, that's inefficiency. That's like bragging that you worked 80 hours to make the same money someone made in 23 hours. That's not winning, that's struggling. Kendrick is out here working smarter, not harder. He's making more with less. That's efficiency. That's excellence. Let's talk about the legacy, because this is what's going to be remembered. Kendrick's GNX tour set a new standard for what's possible in hip-hop. He didn't just break records, he redefensed the game. He showed that you don't need to chase trends. You don't need to fake numbers. You don't need to rely on co-headliners. All you need is real fans, real music, and real energy. That's how you become a legend. Kendrick proved that authenticity wins, that quality matters, that artistry is valuable. He showed that you can be yourself, make the music you want to make, and still achieve unprecedented commercial success. You don't have to compromise. You don't have to sell out. You don't have to follow the formula. Kendrick made a 21st century hip-hop opera, and it became the highest-grossing co-headline tour in history. He made art, and it made money. That's the blueprint. That's the standard. That's the legacy. Future artists are going to look at Kendrick's tour and say, that's what I want to achieve. They're going to study his approach. They're going to learn from his success. And Drake's going to be remembered as the guy who needed co-headliners to compete. The guy who made less per show. The guy who couldn't match Kendrick's efficiency. That's not the legacy you want. That's not the story you want told. And the comedy? Bruh, If you ever catch yourself doubting Kendrick's commercial power, just remember this moment. Remember that Kendrick made $14.81 million in one night. Remember that he sold out stadiums with 60,941 people. Remember that he broke every record. And remember that somewhere out there, there's a Drake fan with a calculator, a conspiracy theory, and a broken heart trying to make sense of these numbers. Don't be that guy. Don't be the person who denies reality. Don't be the one who argues against math. Keep it real and you'll never have to worry about getting exposed. Accept the truth and you'll never have to perform mental gymnastics. The numbers are clear. The evidence is overwhelming. The verdict is final. So, what's the verdict? Let me break it down one final time so there's no confusion. Kendrick is the true commercial giant, not because of streaming numbers that can be questioned, but because of tour revenue that can't be faked. The numbers don't lie. Kendrick made $256.4 million in 23 shows. That's $11.15 million per show. The fans don't lie. 1.1 million people showed up. That's over a million real human beings. The culture don't lie. Kendrick's tour was a phenomenon, a movement, a moment. Drake fans, your bot theory just got mathematically destroyed. Your argument just got obliterated. Your logic just got exposed. Kendrick broke every touring record, while Drake needs co-headliners to compete. Kendrick makes 3 times more per show. Kendrick sells out stadiums solo. The math exposes who the real commercial king is, and it's not Drake, it's Kendrick. Drop your excuses in the comments. Try to explain how Kendrick's tour numbers are fake. Try to justify why Drake makes less per show. I'll wait because I know you can't. The math is too clear. The evidence is too strong. And subscribe for more evidence-based breakdowns that use record-breaking numbers to expose the truth. For more content that brings receipts. That's undeniable. That's mathematical. That's truth. Peace.